Shitcase Cinema. On the Shitcase Cinema. Oh, it's the Shitcase Cinema.
You guys ready for today's class?
Yes, Master Jack.
Good. Now, after taking on way too many Richard Harrison films, I decided I'd take on a different kind of ninja film that I hoped wouldn't be as bad, but this is miles worse, trust me.
There's certain things you'll always remember about being young, like your first kiss, first love, and of course there's always the first time you saved the universe.
Saved the universe. Seriously, I literally replayed that clip to make sure I heard him correctly when I watched this film. Now, one thing I have to admit to straight away is I didn't watch the entire movie all the way through. I skipped about 20 minutes from the middle towards the end because it's just so retarded and pathetic. I swear, I'm not backing out of watching and reviewing shit films, but if you think you can tackle Pocket Ninjas from start to finish, then be my guest because it's not watchable on any level. It's just embarrassing. I mean, the title alone sounds retarded. Pocket Ninjas. How can a ninja be in a pocket? How can you pocket a ninja? Is it a play on words towards Pokemon somehow? Strange if it was, but whatever. Now, the first 10 minutes are about the three heroes, if that's what you want to call them, getting their coloured ninja masks from some dodgy South African goon who sits around for what seems like a lifetime flexing his muscles. Gimp. Now, action gets underway in this epic film when this couple here are harassed by a street gang, but then help is here courtesy of some kids wearing stupid ninja outfits and rollerblades. Why are they on rollerblades? Anyway, regardless, they kick the shit out of the bad guys in cheesy fashion, which goes on and on and on, and you get the idea, I'm sure. I mean, they're not even hitting each other half of the time. It's just awful. And we're meant to believe that these three little shits are the guardian of the city. My ass. Now, the most ludicrous thing we're meant to believe is this little kid here is the bad guy leader. His acting is awful. I mean, you can tell he's just reading his lines off screen.
We shall prepare for these battles with these new dragons. I vow this night I will destroy them all, wipe the dragons off the face of this planet. Forever!
Next up, we're treated to the bad guy's training, which lasts a lifetime. So take some time out to go make a cup of tea, have a wank, or find a quick way to end your life because watching this movie all the way through is a slow and painful death. So our three heroes spend their time in a treehouse. Now, it's interesting to note that they have to climb a rope to get in, but we never see them climb up. They just suddenly appear in the room. Now, this is so random and badly put together, it doesn't make any sense. They're looking at a comic book which they thought was written in Canadian, so that means English in other words, but they realise it's actually in Japanese, and therefore you read it by looking at the pictures.
It's not Canadian, Steve. I think it's Japanese.
Oh. Well then, how do you read it?
Just look at the pictures.
Oh dear me, this is fucking lame. Wooden dialogue, wooden acting, a random cutscene of this bender, and it's just a pointless scene.
What are you doing?
Steve found this cool Japanese comic.
This white dragon. Who is he?
I think he's a superhero.
Maybe it's a girl.
No way!
Now, I thought that was pretty confusing and laughable, but suddenly it cuts to a warehouse where this guy storms in. Hey, it's that goon from Tango and Cash.
You don't look so tough now, do you? Do you fuck?
Followed by this white ninja they were looking at. So, is this scene actually real, or is it taking place in the comic book they're reading? It's so strange, and all they do is dance around for ages. Now, this is actually another chance for you to go make another cup of tea, have another wank, and fine-tune those suicide methods you're working on. I'm not joking, this shit goes on for about 5 or 6 minutes. I mean, look at it. What's happening? You want to laugh because it's so shit, but it's not funny even accidentally, and you feel really uncomfortable just watching this garbage. This really is one of the worst fucking movies I have ever had the displeasure of watching. No bullshit. So it seems that it was part of the comic story as they're sitting around looking at the comic still. So they make their own stories up then of this white dragon guy who we see here without his stupid ninja outfit on, and it seems to be the South African guy who trains them up. That makes no sense. Now this story that they're telling shows you what to do in order to enter a club. Yeah, just show your fists, boys and girls, it works every time to get free entry. Of course, then you get shot when you enter the building.
Hello, boys.
Luckily, the assassin was a bad shot, and the white dragon was out of the hospital in no time.
Yet another thing that isn't actually shown. It just summed up for us nicely by the shithead kid talking over the top. Maybe the filmmakers thought that only thick kids would actually watch this movie. So then it's back to more training with their teacher. So is he the white dragon? He's a comic book character from what I gather, and the three kids read about him and tell us the boring stories, yet he's somehow real and teaches them to become ninjas in real life. This film fucks with your head big time. So there's another stupid street fight, and yes, they're on the rollerblades again. I'm not even going to try and figure this out. So the bad guy leader isn't happy about this naturally, and interestingly enough, his name I think is Cobra Khan, which kept me thinking about Cobra Commander from Action Force, or G.I. Joe, whatever the hell you want to call it, and Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat. What a combo that is! Cobra Commander and Shao Kahn mixed together to form this little hard bastard. Ooh, here's the grand unveiling, and yeah, it's the guy who I suspected, the South African chap. He finally tells his students that he's the white dragon, but they don't appear too interested or bothered. It's like, huh, so what, dickwad? We wear shitty ninja masks too with coloured hair. Beat that. So cue more training shots, which are the exact same goddamn sequences we've already seen 100 times, and just to make it even worse, it then cuts to the bad guys training in the same stock footage. And why does this guy only ever seemingly train these three goons? Is he really that shit a teacher? How does he even make enough money to keep his business up and running? Anyway, one of the pocket ninjas, I'm assuming the three kids are the pocket ninjas, but who honestly knows, has a laughable conversation with his mother, and he suddenly pulls out a Game Boy for no reason. Talk about product placement in movies. Now she pops up again while training is going on, and unbelievably we hear her and the white dragon's thoughts. It's so out of place, but this movie knows no fucking boundaries when it comes to being messed up.
Well, I have to get going.
I hate cookies.
I'll just die.
Uh-huh.
Cookies? Oh man, this is lame.
I hate cookies.
Now, this is where I couldn't take any more, so I skipped right to the very end. Now the three little kids are standing around hooked up to some virtual reality game or something, yet there's only one of them fighting that freak from Tango and Cash. As usual, it's a very camp and over the top fight, and it goes on forever. I mean, look, he's shooting webs from his wrists. Who does that remind you of? Yeah, I love Batman. Why are they even doing this? Where's the white dragon? Where's the little evil kid? My answer, I don't care. Then they're instantly back in the treehouse, and I don't know why, but they start talking about pollution and toxic waste, and that we should look after the environment, and they have to go after the stoners who are causing the toxic waste.
Let's go get the stoners who are doing it.
Now the only stoners are the people who made this film. I'm not kidding. I must have laughed so much due to sheer confusion and said the words "what the fuck" numerous times. The ending made me do this because, as you can imagine, it makes no sense on any level. The white ninja's talking about his childhood as you do, and suddenly some woman just butts in moaning about leaving them alone. It cuts to a house. She says, and I quote, "No explanation." Yeah, I'd love an explanation to tell me what's going on. What kind of an ending is this? It's like some random pieces of dialogue all mashed together just for the hell of it. Just see for yourself.
Only it's somehow... they're not.
Excuse me, are you helping? Didn't I tell you to leave them alone?
Okay, Amy.
No explanation? I thought you were dead.
Some things never change.
I know what you think, but I'll tell you what I know.
But with...
So amazing. 1 out of 10.